They want to be healed, but healing indicates a wound. So we fucked up because we're in this space where conscious people want to turn this bitch into church like it's a healing facility where Pascal Beverly Randolph is like, let's talk about some magic. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about how to do some shit. Let's talk about how to speak telepathically. Let's figure out how to manifest particular spells and particular formulae, mainly between the black man and woman. Now, if you don't have a black woman or a woman at all to like fuck with your program, then how the fuck you gonna get one?
These are facts.
So certain fundamental aspects about spirituality can never be explored by black men and women because the system did a good job of trying, not like being, we can't fuck it up a little bit for you niggas. We gotta fuck it up real bad for y'all.
All the way.
And I say another way to think about, right? Me and Breeze, we was talking about the Hierophant in chapter 1 in Genesis. Within Genesis, what they say is gonna happen between the man and woman once they sin against God, it's gonna be intimate. If I said that word right, yeah, it's gonna be nothing but battle, scrapping.
Yeah.
Repeat that again. Repeat that last part you said again, AD.
I'm about to try to find a verse for you, AD.
Yeah, it should be like lit within the lines of chapter 3.
Yeah, at the end before they got the garments of skin.
Yeah.
Enmity, a state of feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. On the internet, the normal conversation is literally called a gender war.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And it's like, I know everybody following all the hood bills, the spiritual.
It's on site and all of that.
Yeah, just to see an argument. A man's supposed to be doing this, a woman's supposed to be doing that. Getting all cluttered.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, and it says, "And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." Talking about the serpent and the woman. And we kind of deduced it down to like, this is the sense consciousness, you know what I mean? Or this is that elemental lockdown that you gotta continuously go to war with because of being enticed by it.
Because when you think about it, sense consciousness is really a divine thing, but we never really go out our way to think about the opposite of things that we deal with. So you got the pleasure and lust, you got the love and the hate, you know what I'm saying? But another way to put all that, how can you decide what is good and bad?
It's the Initiate. We back. We are the #1 spiritual podcast on the internet. Align your chakras, gain some knowledge, make more dollars. You are now tuned into Scholars. Join the Discord. Be a part of the conversation. The Initiates Podcast and the Initiates Nation. Roll up your favorite pack and your best libation. Take some notes or go deep into meditation. The time we share is soul creations. Enjoy the show.
Peace to the tribe. Peace. How we doing tonight? It's the Niches for the Flame.
Peace. Good evening. Another action-packed episode for you all.
Of course, make sure y'all got y'all libations ready. You know what I'm saying? You heard what the intro said. Make sure you got that loud ready. Tonight it's gonna be a show. But for real, how the panel doing tonight? What's the word with it?
What's really good? Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. What's really good on y'all side? How y'all feeling?
Man, besides colder than the mud, man, just been on the grind of being focused and, trying to collab with my dogs, you know what I'm saying? Build, That's really it. Just staying on that path and just trying to grow 1% each day.
How you doing, Breezy?
Yeah, likewise. Just what I've been doing lately is doing more yoga, more
Ooh.
conscious breathing, just trying to like reestablish that because I had a thought in my meditation that yoga is uh kinetic meditation. You know what I mean? Usually it's static, you sitting at your altar, you just sitting down doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Um but the yoga it just helps, you know what I mean? It makes the energy flow, it makes the blood flow. And then you use connected breathing with it. It's a very useful tool. It was one of the first things I got into
Mm-hmm.
once I became curious about spirituality, and I kind of fell off of it, but it's nice to rediscover it. You know what I mean? So
I
that's
think
what
that's
I've been working on.
I think that's super dope.
Okay.
For me, I finally got snow, like I was telling y'all. So it's super cold out here. I had it good for a long time, for a while, but obviously that shit ran out. Outside of that, really trying to hone in on this moderator concept. So I've been taking some notes and taking some instruction on that. I want to get it to a point where we can moderate anything for anyone at any time. So focused in on that, and also really lining up, just getting back into the shadow work bag, getting back accustomed to journaling the shadow. Yeah, and just really looking forward to being able to make this content with y'all. Like, the idea is that we're getting to a place where we can be more consistent because guys line up on each other's schedules more. And so I think that's super dope. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to us working more and more.
Jay, shit, that.
So what's the I see we got some firework, and before we just even get started, what's y'all thoughts about loneliness and how many people you think deal with that on a daily basis?
I would probably have to say a lot. I think it's not something that is readily talked about often. I think people have an issue with telling other people that they might be so.
Yeah, I think about when I think about loneliness, it's like something that you don't want to be, but then I also think of like solitude. You know what I mean, where you're content with being dolo. You know what I mean? Um, Loneliness can arise from different things. I think mostly is that fear of missing out. You know, missing out on something. Uh, yeah, man, you gotta learn to enjoy yourself, enjoy your own energy. You know what I mean? Like, I have a good ass time just being dolo. You know what I mean? Going to the market. You know what I mean? The other day I was dolo and I went and got some truffle goat cheese. You know what I mean? Just enjoying my time with myself. I watched the James Bond movie, you know what I mean? And then we did an episode. Um so yeah, every time I think of loneliness, I always think about uh solitude.
Mm. That was fire, bro. And one thing that made me ask that is because Hood had posted on his page, if you guys ever keep up, about socials, we have them down below. Of course, join the Discord. But he had Carl Jung And I'm just going to paraphrase it to keep it short. He had Carl Jung talking about that a lot of people deal with loneliness, and it's from a place of not having people around you or friends per se. It comes from a place of not being able to express those things that are true to you, that is close to your heart. You don't have a place to express that, or people you tell that to. A lot of times it kind of makes you feel lonely because it's like I have all these things and I just can't share. I have nobody to share it with. And it's like, because thing is, you have people in your life that that's close to you and you talk to, but you probably feel like you really can't share your true self and thoughts. So it makes you feel like I'm lonely. It makes you feel like no one understands me.
I get what you're saying. Like you don't have a tribe. Like you got your family that you blood is blood relation, but like I get what you're saying. I agree with that.
And it's like, plus, what about your spiritual truths too?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that just made me think of something kind of like going off on a tangent. Whenever a friend like have a lucid dream, or they start getting into their meditation, or they start working with deities and stuff, I'm always the first friend they call. You know? And I am glad that I got friends that I can talk to them about these things and they'll listen, even though that it's not part of their lifestyle. And then, some years later, months later, they'll circle around and be like, man, I started doing all these things. And, and it's just cool to see people striving for their own enlightenment. You know what I mean? And it made me think everybody got their own timeline, you know.
Right.
Some niggas just don't get it until they get it.
Yeah, I think loneliness is super prevalent at this time. I don't think it's gender specific. I think it's
Right.
Disproportionate in a lot of areas for one gender versus the other. But I also think that a lot of that is by choice. And what I mean by that is, for a lot of men, their decision to remain alone and isolate a lot of the times has to do with not wanting to deal with the opposite sex in a way that hangs them out to dry. And what I mean by that is, this is a society that doesn't reward masculinity. This is a society that doesn't necessarily honor masculinity. And so being a provider and doing all of those things for your partner or your would-be partner is not necessarily something that is enticing or dare I say encouraging the most men, from the standpoint of no one wants to do a thankless job. Right? Like 9 times out of 10, no one wants to do something and give it their all if they're not going to be acknowledged for it. And if they do one thing wrong along the way, totally lose everything that they did positive, right? So I think it's easier for a lot of people to decide to stay alone because they just don't want to deal. And I think society has placed a blanket over the reality of women can have it their way in a lot of ways and men just can't. And I think both genders are having issues with that.
Plus, think about this. A lot of, when it comes to this gender, think about what that came up in the intro. Like, we literally talk about the fight between the gender war. You know what I'm saying? The enemy. Like, we're dealing with that in a heavy way still. And we're just not aware of it. I mean, it's people aware of it, just aware of your conversations, but as a whole or community, it's just like you're gonna have your people who isn't, who isn't.
Yeah, I want to champion a new thing that gets at least the brothers to a place where they can feel comfortable enough to ask for the help that they so desperately need and not feel like less than because they need to. Because I think it's prevalent for a lot of people, and a lot of people that don't get noticed and don't get acknowledged. I think that's what these kind of conversations are for. Because everybody's not in the limelight, everybody's not out there, and everybody's not necessarily doing well. What's good, Hood?
Chilling out, man. I mean, but hey, I ain't no motherfucking mind reader, so y'all can watch the video on silent mode, like, oh yeah, I like this video. Or y'all can interact, y'all can chop it up, let us know what's going on, things of that nature. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to catch up. What's been going on since I've been away? What's the
we just been catching up.
Just caught up, and then we just asked about, y'all thoughts on loneliness. You know what I'm saying?
Thoughts on loneliness?
Yeah,
that's what we was talking about.
Yeah, we had it up right here, on the front.
All right. So if I told you, what is your thoughts on pigs flying from the sky? What would you say?
Probably be fun to watch.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, if I told you, like, what's your thoughts about it? Like, I'm telling you, like, pigs be flying from the sky. Like rain flies, pigs fly. What you think about it?
I wouldn't believe it.
Right. So a spiritualist doesn't conceive of the concept of loneliness because you have your higher self, you have your lower self, you have your oversoul, you have your ancestors, you have your guides, you have your mediators, you have your psychophants, you have your imaginary friends.
Mm-hmm.
So now you probably would juxtapose that with brain dead ass humans, but I mean, have fun, right? You be on the first 48 because you motherfucking said, you know what I'm saying, your Tim's is dirty, nigga. And he pulled out the Glock 37 and took you off. And you like, yeah, man, you got all those ancestors and deities and shit. Yeah, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
That's that Chi-Town shit right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I would say if I just wanted to start the day or start the pod with a little bit of pushback, I would say, what happens if I'm not a spiritual person, Hood? What happens if
you wouldn't be alive?
But what happens if I'm one of those people who just goes to work every day, who just pays their bills? Mm-hmm. Like I never meditated before. I never did shadow work. I don't even know what shadow work is. Mm-hmm. I don't know what a chakra is. What would you say to him, Hood?
So if you saw an old lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
This old lady said, "Rob, you old bitch ass nigga, get a job." And you got mad about it. You smacked the shit out that old lady. Right?
That's vulgar. Okay.
Right. But the cops came and you said, I ain't know that I couldn't smack the fuck out this old lady. And the cop said, all right, you free to go. I thought you knew. don't be smacking the shit out of old ladies, okay?
So
Sorry, bro, my bad. And old lady, my fault. I didn't know it was illegal. Damn, I wasn't even. So if the law, you don't got no excuse for it. I don't. I really am outside of the area of kissing niggas' ass because I'm spiritual.
Well,
I'm completely out of that, nigga. I did that shit for years.
mhm.
And I know how to do it. If I could do it, I probably would do it, but I'm not doing it. So I don't care if you you create your own reality. Is my point. You
Mhm.
create your own reality through your breath.
Mhm.
If you go to work every day and you don't want to create your reality through your breath, fine. But at the same time, if you feel like you lonely, and I would say you created that reality. So it's nothing that I can do, nothing your mama could do, nothing anybody could do, because in reference to learning information, it's your responsibility.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you could go to Trump University and then complain and try to sue the nigga and say I ain't learned shit. But you went to Trump University.
That's kind of don't have a leg to stand on. Like,
You can't really stand on that. So you like, well, why should I listen to y'all talk about shadow work? Because niggas have been doing it since 2017. That's 8 years. Now, in reference to having the accountability on yourself, you might not like that. Saying that you have more power than you think you have, you might not like that. Saying that there are structures and protocols and ways to accomplish things, you may not like that. So you may not like everything that I got to say. It's not going to make it wrong or make what you feel right.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what I would say.
Touche. So basically, not knowing is not an excuse.
Yeah, that's your own fault.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This world is brutal. You got baby bunnies, and a fucking wolf will come and just eat the baby bunnies. This shit is rough out here.
It is. It is.
Whoa, goddamn baby birds being ate by an eagle and shit. You like cameraman just watching that shit like, damn, that shit crazy. We saved the baby birds, nigga. What the fuck? We don't want to see that.
They sell that footage.
Yeah, they like, yeah, man, this is how nature works. It's brutal.
And they do say that about Mother Nature, that she is unforgiving. They do say that. Well, if Mother Nature is unforgiving, then you not knowing about your spiritual aspects and components is unforgiving. Like there's no excuse for it.
So basically, it would deduce to facts over feelings,
Mm-hmm.
formula over emotions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In this world, the formula is always going to win over the emotion, and you could get gaslit to high hell, thinking that how you feel about a certain situation is valid over the effort and energy you put towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. People think just because they hype about some shit, it mean more. But
Yeah.
like, yo,
Niggas think, Breeze, shit, you ain't give me $50 last weekend when I needed it. I hope you lose your job. Like, wait, what?
Yep.
Niggas don't want you to even be successful.
Niggas is super addictive. You right. Yep.
But it made me think about this, like ignorance doesn't absolve consequence.
Nope.
This is what I'm trying to say.
The only
At
thing
the
you can
end of
get
it all,
is grace, but you're not receiving grace if you don't give yourself that same grace in your own ignorance. You get what I'm saying? People get wrathful when they find out how how stupid they are, for lack of better words.
Mm-hmm.
And they act like they got a chip on them on their shoulder just because they don't know something, or other people knew something before them. But it's nothing new under the sun. So it's just about how you live your life and how you use, the gift that's been given to you of consciousness. Being able to manipulate the matrix, and you using it, you degrading it. Even though this is a base level consciousness, because we so dense, but people like y'all saying, people get mad at their own results. These is the results of your thoughts and your habits and your causal body.
Shadow work. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah, yep. And shadow work is how you begin to stop, drop, shut them down, open up shops. That song was about shadow work, and DMX was talking about stopping the bullshit, shutting it down, and opening up a new shop, opening up a different type of approach to your own essence of existence.
Damn, DMX is super spiritual.
How can I
Yeah.
maintain with that shit on my brain?
Yeah.
And then when you think
He's
about
like,
it,
I'd resort to violence. My niggas moving silent. Run that back, man. And then at the
That's
end, he said,
all
talk is
shadow.
cheap. At the end, he said, talk is cheap, motherfucker. All you hear is gunshots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's how the song ends. Talk is cheap. Words is win.
Mm.
I would say at the end of it all, you would have to understand that it's a method to the madness. You may not like it, but your negativity is going to be the reason why shit is not working out for you. Because in reference to how you feel about shit, you're not creating the space of figuring out where you're wrong at. So when you don't do that, it's like you walking through life with your shoes untied and you just don't, you slipping and falling. You like, damn, why I keep falling? Why my shoes feel so wobbly? But you're not actually tying your shoes. You're not actually like figuring out what's the reason that you're taking full responsibility. And shadow work is in every aspect of your life, especially those aspects where you relinquish responsibility and accountability. So where is shadow work the most pertinent at in your relationship to God? Because that's where niggas is going to be like, well, God got it. No, you are God. You create your reality.
I hate those things.
and in Hood with the what you was talking about with the shoe falling, bro. It's crazy. A lot of times, everyone tends to focus on, the reaction that happens. They get caught up in emotion. As soon as they fall, they upset, and they never figure out the solution. And they just, as soon as they get over the emotion, they just get back up and get to walking. Like, cause shit, they just got done. Yeah, because they just got done feeling that feeling about it. It's like, it's whatever. And never really got a solution, or never gave themselves a solution.
I was explaining it like this yesterday. If you driving on the sidewalk, you probably think driving is the most fucked up shit ever. You like, man, this is bullshit, bro. I keep hitting rocks and poles and shit, bro. Fuck this driving, bro. That's a depressed, lonely person. You're doing everything you're not supposed to do, and you're like, I hate life, bro. I hate life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just got on the road, you would see, okay, if I follow the rules, I can go anywhere I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But niggas is going, casual sex, pornography, not forcing yourself to have a social life, addicted to technology. Man, I hate life, bro. Mm-hmm. Addicted to Percocets. It's a way to do this shit, but you got to do it. And it's going to be great for you if you actually do it the right way. But I feel like in spiritual spaces, bro, we got a dick suck. Pause.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Whoa, that was
Hey,
drastic.
yo.
That just went left.
We got to make sure we saying things that everybody agree with, or we not even going to talk. Niggas is going to.
I thought I was the only one that felt that way.
Hey man, why you have to say that? Or I ain't like what you said, and what you said really pissed me off, bro. Nigga, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
Would you say that's the difference between people being able to incorporate new information that they're not privy to versus a person realizing they just don't like the way it feels?
I'm telling you, if it will be one thing if we created the concept of cognitive bias.
Yeah, I was just saying
cognitive dissonance. We didn't create that. It's out here.
Yeah, that's part of the science.
It's part of the science.
Because it's like I like how you brought up what you said, Serpent. You know,
something about it is super narcissistic too. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, you good. But like you said with the narcissistic part, I mean, a lot of people have a certain emotion attached to certain things, especially information. So a lot of times when they hear something, they going off how they feel about it. So it's not going to be reprocessed, even if it came across to them in a certain way.
When do grown people get past how they feel about something?
What product is you going to buy? This product increases your metabolism, or this product helps you lose weight? I just think that we have to just understand most niggas is not beyond the 5th grade reading level at a majority and accept it, because you're going to have to reach 200 million. Bro, the schools, teachers quitting school, quit being a teacher. They're taking their kids out of school and homeschooling them because they understand we are being invaded by a foreign intelligence that wants us to be dumbed the fuck down. Okay? They want us to be stupid to high hell. And if we associate ourselves with these institutions, we're just in that boat. And it's just like, it's been happening for so long. Niggas don't care about this shit, bro. So therefore, if you come at it at a positive way, niggas is going to be like, oh, scamming ass nigga. You got to talk to niggas how they going to receive it. And they on the lower levels now. We at 500% growth in syphilis in 2022. What is it from there to there? They did the reports. You think it got worse, or you think people have stopped fucking since 2022, or you think people have been fucking more?
I was really hoping that we didn't have to go there, but fuck it, we going there. It's probably worse. It's probably worse. If I had to gander a guess, I would say that it's probably worse. But since you alluded to it already, why don't we show the people what we're talking about?
Oh, I deleted it out the files. I ain't keep it. I can find it though. It wasn't.
All right, so
I found it immediately.
How would you like that?
So, since we talking about casual sex, right? We got to deduce, right? Casual sex leads to STDs. True or false?
True.
All right. So
at least your chances are higher than a person that's married.
No, that's like your chances are higher than a person who's actually only got one partner.
The more partners you dealing with, the higher your chances of STDs. Now, this is from
it multiplies. It doesn't add with something like this. If it's 2 people, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not
2 people. That's really like 24 people.
Yeah.
So this is the percent increases of total syphilis and P and S syphilis cases by sex at birth in Texas from 2013 to 2022. This is from a state official thing. Men have increased in total syphilis in that time 190%.
Mm-hmm.
Women in that same amount of time have increased in 350%.
Wait.
Whoa, what the fuck is going on, man?
Hold up.
And when you talk about syphilis has historically been a men thing.
Holy shit, bro.
And what I had said this earlier, Breeze, and you didn't hear this, but people will have sexual interactions more than one person in the day.
Man, hey, that's because they don't know nothing about Ike with the Irish in Jersey.
Light skin with herpes.
Yo,
Yeah,
they get
they will not shower too.
Niggas get light
Man.
skin. For real.
Man,
Is, bro.
This is like this is the only way this can happen is if people are stupid.
Bro. This can happen
and poor hygiene. Like, what the fuck?
This can happen when there's a lot of things that can contribute to it. But if the general consensus is casual sex, if I like you, then you're gonna get STDs.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, it's like you out here playing like this and you not making people test before you even enter. You're bold.
Nobody is getting online, bro, saying I got an STD last night. They getting online saying that, you know what I'm saying? I just graduated from college.
Do you think? Damn. All right. Do you think it's a matter of, because clearly the numbers speak to a huge portion of women sleeping probably with a small portion of men, right?
You can make that assumption, but when you factor in tourism, you can say maybe they sleeping with the same amount. What I feel like that women are traveling to different countries and different states, maybe different cities. It's easier to have sex when you traveling for some reason. You go having sex with these men, which is cool, but
it's not cool. No, it's not.
It's not cool. The reason why it's not cool is because there are hundreds of countries of free thinking women that can do the same thing. So if we have one location, say Dominican Republic or Jamaica, not only American women are going to these places, but women from all over the world are going to these places, having sex with these same guys, right? The niggas who they know what's going on, it's a thing, right? And then they come back to the States, and now, you know what I'm saying? The thing of it is that nobody is going to say, I went to Ghana and fucked this guy and he gave me HIV, right? Or I got an STD. And it's like, I would say that's a contributing factor to it.
The travel,
and then also just having sex with a small percentage of men who are having sex with a large percentage of women. I know that goes in one ear out the other. Nobody really wants to think about it. But if a small percentage of men are having sex with a large percentage of women, then that small percentage of men is burning like Mississippi.
Wow.
And they be like, she burning, bro. You be like, how you know that? I just heard.
Nobody that ever wants to have that conversation. What do you mean? How you know? The fuck?
Yo, man, don't fuck with her. She got a disease. How you know? Man, don't even worry about that part, bro.
Forget our acts, player. Forget our acts. Holy shit, bro.
In this casual sex hookup landscape we in, who's talking about STDs and STIs and sexual health?
I've never heard that brought up.
That's why it's shadow work.
I've never heard anybody bring up health as it regards to sex in any form or shape or matter. In any one of these podcasts, on any one of these podcast hosts. Like, nobody is talking about health in any kind of way.
Yeah,
Think
this
about
shit, that
Fresh
shit make
Fit
you want
saying
to
how
be.
you gotta have sex, but they never saying how to have sex safely or even having sex safely. Like, what is that? Like,
Yeah.
And think about this. Think about this. STD, spiritually transmitted disease. A lot of times they skip over that.
it goes without saying, man. But in reference to shadow work, in reference to why you're not being able to connect, and then you not factor in your sexual activities because it's so fulfilling on the sensual level. You get deeper into being able to create your world, but you can't because it's a whole nother nigga's DNA obstructing your vision to the most high. And not just one nigga, however many niggas you allow to have sex with, because you free and you can. But at the same time, I honestly know when you having sex with multiple people, man or woman, you are in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not saying you could be in a polygamous or organized shit, but if you just randomly just having sex with people, you are in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy part. It's like,
yeah, because every bit of God force that is left in you is going to cloud the veil. 1000%. And it's something that you can't prevent, and you won't even know where it's coming from because there's been so many of them. 9 times out of 10, because you were hiding it so much, because you never talked about it or even remotely thought about it, you probably lost count, which is the crazier part.
haha, that's that boy Montauk.
Could you go to those pictures first?
Mhm.
And then the one on the far is to the right. So I wanted to talk about like a something that is useful to help you do shadow work and to help you well, I need to take a sip of water. So this book right here is Celebration of Breath by Sandra Ray. And it basically speaks about breath work as something that's called rebirthing. And rebirthing is basically doing connected breaths. So it's almost like you taking one big breath, but it's kind of like a inhale, exhale. And when you exhale, you let gravity exhale for you. So it's an active inhale, passive exhale. And basically through breath work, you can bring traumas back up. So you can help them resurface so that you can integrate them and release them. But from this rhythmic breathing, you're able to become aware of things in your subconscious. And it may come up with different pressures in different parts of the body. Um, Actually, there's a page in this book where it speaks about like every ailment, like stomach ache, metaphysically, that means that it's hard for you to simulate new things, but it has every single part of the body. But anyways, I wanted to read something. I'm just trying to like elucidate what breath work is and its importance, at least from like a Tibetan Buddhist
Right.
perspective, you know what I mean? But this was in the book, so it says with the highlights on it, suppression is the long-term withdrawal of the spirit body from areas of the physical body where something is happening which one has chosen not to experience. The spirit body is what organizes a bunch of molecules into the neat form we call your physical body. Withdrawal of the spiritual from the spirit body from areas of the physical body because of suppression results in blockage of vital organizing energy to that part of the physical body. the molecules become less well organized, a condition we call aging or sickness. So it's basically telling us that our spiritual body is what is is the consequence of our physical body. But when you suppress something emotionally wise, when you suppress something or a feeling or some type of negative thing that you've experienced with life, you begin to take attention off of your spirit. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that part of your body, like the guilt, guilt, shame, resentment, hatred, envy, jealousy, embarrassment, fear. These energies like take up residence in your body, and it puts a hole in your ability to sense your spirit body to the point where like you don't even have intuition, like your intuition is dwindling and you are aging because you're out of order. And so think of spirit keeping you in order, in alignment. You know what I mean? Um, and then there's also another concept called rainbow body breathing. It's a book by Jan Hooks, Jahn. It's like spelled John with an A, and Hooks like Hooks. And it's a book. It's like a small ass pamphlet, like probably less than $10. It's called Tantric Rainbow Body Breathing. But rainbow body is this is from Wikipedia, is a level of realization where the physical body transmutes into light. This may or may not be accompanied by the rainbow body phenomenon. The rainbow body phenomenon is a pre-Buddhist or in origin and is related to indigenous Tibetan region. Okay, hold up. That ain't the exact thing I wanted to read. Hold on. The rainbow body phenomenon is a third person perspective of someone else attaining complete knowledge. And knowledge is Rigpa, and it makes me think of gnosis. You know what I mean? Everything that you know about Gnosticism and gnosis being knowledge or wisdom, it's the same thing um, for Tibetan spiritual system pantheons. Um, it says like knowledge is the absence of delusion and clinging, regardless the displaying or the visions. So it's like understanding that you're in an illusion, and basically I'm tying it into like breathing. So rainbow body breathing would be you breathing and someone perceiving you as light, and then you just you cease to exist on this plane. Um and so if you look up a book called the Tibetan Book of the Dead, it speaks about how to die. You don't have to have a painless death. You don't have to die um in pain. You can leave or transition on your own terms, but it's so much between you and all that shadow work you got to do that's not even conceivable for most people. But you have to understand like all everything spiritual based, religion based, it comes out of the study of death. you know Death is almost like the baseline for like what you have to come to terms with, but come to terms with your life, but you experience death and birth, death and birth, death and birth. So you exist even though you experience death. It's kind of like a paradox. That's how I look at it. But Rigpa or wisdom, which would be the Tibetan gnosis, um, it has like three wisdoms they call it. And it says it represents the fundamental nature of mind as empty yet radiant and compassionate, a state beyond concepts of existence or non-existence, achieved through recognizing this fundamental awareness distinct from ordinary mind. and this is an enlightenment. This is what enlightenment is. Um, so I say all this to say that through breathing, you're able to begin this process for yourself. And then there's other ideas like iron shirt breathing, diamond body breathing, and they all have like wellness effects on you. Because you got to remember your health isn't a result of just what you eat and what you do. It results in the things you think and the things you say and how you feel. Uh, you can be the most healthiest person, but if you have resentment to give your ass cancer. You you get what I'm saying? You could be the healthiest motherfucker ever. Um, but you can go to the video, it's of Moktak Chia. Go to 1 minute and 28 seconds. Why you do that? He's going to talk about you have fascia in your body, and there's 3 layers of fascia. And through breathing, um, oh, another thing to add, we all experience 14.7 psi of force from just the environment, the air on our body. You know what I mean? We experience that much pressure. Um, and so the inside of our body would also have to be 14.7 psi internally that's pushing out. Because if it goes down, say like your internal pressure goes down to 12%, it goes down to 12 psi, and the environment is 14.7 psi, you will be crushed. That's just science. You'll be crushed because you don't have enough force within you to stop the environment from smashing you. And so he's going to talk about breathing in a way where you're storing chi in your body and you're using prana or spirit, because breath is spirit. You're taking in more spirit and you're doing it in a conscious way. You're able to increase the pressure inside of your body, uh, which deals with like longevity. And at the end, either at the end of this live or at the end of the segment, we could do 20 connected breathings, and I'll just talk about it a little bit if anybody want to hang around. But you could press play. I know I said a lot of shit.
Time. 3 layer, 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, and each layer have a fascia. Each layer have a fascia layer there. Okay? And this fascia, it like plastic. It like plastic or elastic rubber. It's protecting us. You see the white thing between the muscle and the layer is called fascia layer. And the layer can be blown up and can be expand or contract down. Can expand or contract down. Now, so these 3 layers work like this. I'll show you the 3 layers. So we have the first layer. We have the second layer. And we have the third layer. Between the layer, we have a diaphragm. It's also a fascia mixed with the muscle. And divide this one, and the organ is in here. So we have the organ inside here. We have the liver, we have the spleen, we have the kidney, we have the pancreas, and we have the heart here, and we have the lung here. It's all contained in the layer. Now, in olden time, they discovered that we have a chi pressure. So we call it chi pressure. Chi pressure. The chi pressure is make us maintain up in a shape. When you lose the chi, you don't have pressure. So when the people are so depressed, all the chi lose out, and they get into a structure of depressed. Look at people, you know they're depressed now. If the people walk like this, okay, they depress that, right? If the people sit like this, walk like this, the answer angle, the energy change, and now, this here, actually the one that shape us. They say we have a 14.7 pound per square inch PSI. Per square inch. The air outside also 14.7 pound per square inch, and the inside have to nearly do the same pressure, right? We have the same pressure inside. The inside also 14.7 pound per square inch. Okay? If the pressure is loosened, we get weak and sick. Because everything in the body move on is involved with the pressure. So we have to constantly breathe in the air to maintain a pound pressure per square inch. When we exhale, you loosen and lessen a little bit pound pressure. When you inhale, you're increasing more pound pressure. If you can inhale longer, the pound pressure increasing. If we can increasing more pound pressure, the qi gonna flow faster, the blood gonna flow faster. Okay? Now, interesting is when a young people or healthy people, the qi pressure is a lot. When the people get sick, everything is go down because the power pressure from outside pressing in. Energy don't flow, blood don't flow, circulation don't move. So they discover that if you can increase a power pressure per square inch in the organs, you will increase the efficiency of the organs. So we need to increasing a power pressure per square inch inside the organ first, and we're going to expand the power pressure per square inch out into the cavity, okay? And later on, we will expand it into a layer, fascia layer. Now, if you have an egg, if you throw an egg on the floor, what happens? Break. If you put an egg in a balloon, you throw it, it's still going to break. But if you put another bigger balloon in here, and you put another bigger balloon in here, now you can kick it, you can stab it, you can do anything with it. You're not going to break the egg. Right or not? Right? Because the air pressure protecting it. This the same thing in the olden time. They discovered this thing in the beginning is for esoteric practice in order to get more energy. Later on, they discovered that they can protect themselves when the people punch or people hit them, they bounce it out, so they don't get hurt. But this nowadays, in olden time, they can practice extremely until the weapon or people cannot hit them. So they call iron church. Okay. And the other day we're teaching there, and a lady said,
And
"What
that's
iron
it.
skirt?" I was like,
But yeah, so I would say do some research on Mantak Chia and breath work, and add it to your practice because it helps you concentrate as well. And basically, so connected breathing is literally you inhaling and then letting the atmosphere exhale for you. So it's just and you do that where you allow the inhale become the exhale and the exhale become the inhale. And if y'all want to, as a collective, we can do 20 connected breaths, or we can do 10. But this is something you can do before meditation. This is something you could do before doing yoga. This is something you can do before talking to somebody and you know you might have to tell their ass off, you know? And another thing about breath, if you don't take nothing from it, it helps you stay present. And when you are in the present moment, you can deal with things that arise within you so that you don't end up having a shadow work surplus. You get what I'm trying to say? I think every day we have our own amount of shadow that we deal with. And if you can stay present, like the breath, because the breath is always present, the breath is always like right now, um, it'll help you not being so fucked up when life doesn't go your way. But so yeah, let's do 10 connected breaths. And it's in the nose, out the nose, and it's a um active inhale, and you let gravity do the exhaling. So we'll start. You can just sit up comfortably. All right, one,
Mhm.
2, 3, go. Sometimes when I do it in the morning, I'm meditating, I'll use my imagination to visualize my whole like skeleton, like shining, like glowing. You know what I mean? Kind of some game right here, like my avatar, like Knight Rider. You know what I mean? Like the whole skeleton is just on fire because you got so much chi. But I got my own reasons for needing to store up chi. But um, yeah, man, breath work. I'll leave with that.
Ashe.
I say that was dope.
I want to read from Astrology Explained, the Capricorn section. Skin, teeth, bone, and fascia. Saturn, Capricorn, is linked to our skin, teeth, and bones, the foundation to our health. In other words, Saturn rules our fascia, primarily collagen beneath the skin that attaches, stabilizes, encloses, and separates muscles and other internal organs. The fascia energy system is the least most understood energy system, and quite possibly the most important. There is no part of the body, not one single cell, that isn't connected to this crystal like lattice. As a result, Capricorn and Saturn represent our basic protective mechanism and boundary against the outside world. So I thought that was interesting when he goes on to talk about air pressure and it also being protecting the egg. But I also will point out that it's all connected, that Saturn represents protection in ways that we couldn't even fathom.
Yes, yes, yes. You will faint if your skin was clear, and you can see all the stuff happening. You're like, ah!
Yeah, that's like magic in a way too. It's like you got all these things in your body that's just working and you've never seen them.
Right, man. That's sick right there,
Like
man.
sure you see pictations of them and diagrams and 3D prints of them and stuff, but at the end of the day, unless you on some dream crap or movie crap, you slitting it open looking at yourself, hey, You know, you ain't seen it. Like, I think we was talking about the heart earlier, or something about that. And one of my favorite animes, Hunter x Hunter, dude had put on the shirt that said heart, and it's like, your heart, it means a lot. If you want to find a spirit, look inside your heart. And that's a paraphrase from Julia Elks. The Encyclopedia of Spirits.
Yeah, we got to get to a place where spirituality is not taboo. We got to get to a place where the actual faculties that you were born with, that you were born to execute and exercise, you actually utilize.
Mm-hmm.
And for far too long, everything has always been about outward in, what people could get, what people can do, what they can accumulate, so forth and so on. But I'd like to encourage the idea of consuming cultivation within spiritual practice. We are already consumers. How about we just consume the spiritual part of it for a little while? We did everything else.
It all starts with instruction.
It all starts with want to.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta want to do this shit. And for people talk about purpose and things of that nature. You need to understand, like, it's hard as fuck to find your purpose if you're not looking for it. It's hard as fuck to say, hey, yeah, I'm on my purpose if you haven't cultivated one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are catchy snatch phrases for people to talk about. Those are keywords and dog whistles at this point. But there is no instruction to implement practical spiritual practices. And that has to stop.
Did I ever tell y'all about the time I went to the Brother Ampu lecture in Columbus?
Nah.
Mm-mm.
So
no, you told me about that. You told me about that.
Brother Ampu, he had a lecture in Columbus, Ohio. And at the time I was talking to this bad Indian, light skin, long hair. She was cold, bro. Things look good, right? Mind you, this is all I was thinking about. I was only thinking about her. But I was into the spiritual shit. Like, I would like to listen to it for whatever. But I wasn't, like, embodying it at all. I was just doing me, but listening to spiritual shit. But I just so happened to get to the lecture because it was like $20, whatever. I'm in there. So Brother Ampu do a Q&A. Now, in retrospect, he dropped all of this profound knowledge. My question was, well, what do I do about this girl that I like if she's not into the spiritual? Like,
No, you didn't.
I swear to God, on my soul. Brother Ample looked at me and, for lack of better words, just said, you're not ready yet. Right? And I was just kind of appalled by it because I couldn't separate the forest from the trees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, once again, you could look the part, you could talk the part, you can act like you down for the cause. But you are you. And you could think that you need to get all of this shit and, like, bro, you just need to become who you are. And I think that is the hardest thing for human beings to ever sniff on. Because the girls leading the girls, and the boys is leading the boys, and whatever is the blind leading the blind at the end of the day.
Right. The world is telling you who to be.
Exactly, and how you should show up. So, and not even that, the world is doing that, but you believe in them. You believe in them with your muscle memory, and your muscle memory is a deeper thing. Because I would want to grasp everything that I was hearing for years. I was deep into listening to spiritual shit by this time, but my muscle memory for just wanting to fuck with this bitch so bad, I bought her a car, big homie.
Nah.
I bought her a car, big homie.
Oh,
and she ghosted me after the car.
All the way in. You was all the way in.
She ghosted me after the car.
Yeah.
She didn't even like me.
Most niggas don't come back from that.
She didn't even like me.
Most niggas don't come back from that.
But see, I mean,
I appreciate your transparency.
I can't even.
Most niggas wouldn't be honest about that neither.
Listen, it's no thing because the inner journey is how to go. Because it's not real. Fuck that bitch. You know, I called the cops on that hoe. I got that hoe locked up.
Mm-hmm. You should. you should have.
Felony, receiving stolen property.
1000%. Good for you, nigga. Shit.
That car was in my name. Police.
You gonna be riding around town with niggas in my car? The fuck?
Oh,
no. No, we is not speed over here.
So
Your mama should have raised you better.
All I'm saying is, I know this light to not get it because you're afraid to embody. Because the thing of it, you don't know how great you are. So if you don't know how great you are, you're not going to apply yourself to show up as that great person.
And you know the one thing I love telling people about astrology when they're trying to understand the horoscopes is the first house. Is because 9 times 10, the first house is letting people know what people see great and cool about you that you really have a hard time seeing about yourself. So it's like I help them tune into that. It's like the key to this is understanding you and building a structure and a path and like ways to build that for yourself. So it's just like what we overlook at, honestly, because it's hard. They say the simple things are hard, right?
I think almost every every adult man has a story like that somewhere in there, right? And I think that it would do the young generation a lot of justice if they could hear some of these, how do you say, Heru story journeys, because that's a Heru journey right there. When you find out that you put yourself out for somebody else and they give you their ass to kiss, you really forced to do some real self-work and self-homework after that. Because I immediately thought, like, what's wrong with me? What the fuck? What happened?
I mean, it's just I was so knee deep into, the metaphysics of love, where I still am. I don't love in reference to how a person gonna love me back, especially a woman. I don't even approach it in that manner. I approach it with sincere love. So it's like a revolving door. I swear to God, I promise on my soul, it's like this. A girl cannot want to be with me because for whatever reason, and I'll get another one because I love authentically. So if the girl not ready, she don't want to reciprocate it, she afraid, whatever the case may be, she mad, she haven't done shadow work, You know, I done been in relationships with women and I'm talking and they go do their own shit. And I'm sitting here talking about shadow work. And I got 100 women listening to me and my wife fucking watching Grey's Anatomy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I can be excruciating, but I'm never going to be wrong. When it comes to this shit, I'm wrong on, I don't know how to build a house. I can't help you invest. Like, I don't know about real estate, but psychology in reference to positive energy and where it comes from and how it's not connected to circumstance, we could argue till the cows come home. But I'm never going to be wrong in that subject. So if a bitch is unhappy, she has to do shadow work. She's not going to take it out on me. So I'm either going to be with somebody else or I'm going to be alone.
You said something super profound there. And I just want to say I shade first, but you said you don't love from the aspect of, or your love is not contingent upon the other person loving you. And I think that's so profound because so many people in this world, they base what they're going to do and not going to do contingent upon what others are doing. And I think that sounds the alarm for a person who is stoked in their purpose and not going to allow any outside interference on that. Like, your love is your love. And as a man, that is probably the most important thing that you can offer this world is your love. Now, you don't get any kudos for that. You don't get any accolades for it, but that's not why it's supposed to be done in the first place anyway. So when you go into anything in life and you base it and have it contingent upon what others are doing or other factors that may play into it, maybe you should rethink that thing, because it's not necessarily something that you're doing because you want to do it. That's something you're doing based off of what somebody else you hope is probably going to give you in return. And that's just not real love. It's not.
For me, it boils down to honesty and being around people that respect your honesty and also understand your honesty is a double-edged sword. It's going to cut people and it's also going to defend your honor, right? And a bitch gotta like the fact that you got a sword, or else it ain't gonna work, because you gonna be lying or pandering or not authentic. And for men, that is the root of your depression. That is the root of your sadness. It's not. They say that because men is single, they depressed. I would have to disagree with that. I think men being in relationships with women that they can't be honest with because your honesty gets weaponized against you, right? She take your sword and start cutting you with it when you honest. I think it has to get to a point where men learn how to stand in honesty. Like I ain't speaking no far-fetched shit. I'm just saying like the average Muslim, regular Muslim nigga. You know what I'm saying? With a short haircut, with his, you know what I'm saying, just walking the streets of the city. You never notice him. But his wife is listening to every word he say. His daughter is listening to every word he say. His kids listen to every word he say. He got control and respect of his household, right? He live in a particular kingdom because he not afraid of death either. And everybody in his family know this nigga will die because he want to die. He want to meet Allah real bad. So we about to listen to these niggas. American niggas, man, we want to live. So we'll take anything. Mm-hmm. And we have seen our grandfathers, our uncles, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, and our daughters, or whatever, just live in utter romantic chaos because we afraid to tell each other the truth. Tell me I'm lying. In order for the black family to exist, you got to be comfortable lying a little bit. If I'm lying, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Lying,
I don't lie a little bit.
they lying. Most of the time, they just don't even speak about it. They don't even.
You gotta be a lying pro.
They be avoiding.
That's the same as lying.
I know. I'm just going into it too. Just how they be doing it.
No, not saying the truth is a lie.
Omission is a lie.
Because the motherfucker, like, you ask them a question and just not answering, they'll be talking, just start talking about shit.
When do you think it's a matter of being afraid of the response, or how they're going to be viewed when they tell the truth?
Both.
It's a combination. It's a whole.
Both of them.
You've seen the truth before, and you've seen how people responded to it, and you have programmed yourself over time to show up in certain spaces in certain ways. But psychologically, you're showing up as a psychopath. What y'all getting from me is the same person that my wife get, my kids get. If anybody, you getting the same version. I don't have a different version any longer. So it takes some getting used to, and many people don't like it. But the alternative is that I'm a psychopath. But people haven't really sat with that. They comfortable with being this way around their mom, being this way around their girl, being this way around their homeboys. But the authentic version of you should be comfortable in the same way. Because, like, back to shadow work, the persona is a mask. When you take that mask off, now everybody see you for the real you. The thing of it is, like, not that I love or hate myself, but I know that joy is not connected to circumstance. So I have no choice but to be in a state of joy. But it's also associated with not existing under any personas, any mask. But if a nigga, like, it's hard to be you at work. It's hard to be you with your family. Hard to be with you. To a certain point, shadow work is necessary because at this point, what is the authentic version of you?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who is the true version of you? Is it the nigga that's showing up in front of your mom? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's you. That's the authentic version of you. Or is it you with your homeboys? Yeah, nigga. Let me hit that motherfucking joint, nigga. Hell yeah, bitch. We about to fuck some hoes tonight. Or is it the version of you with your girl? You're the only one that I love.
Hell no, none of them.
None of them. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Man, it's like that one homie walking into the barbershop with his side chick versus walking in there with his shorty.
Two different niggas. It's a meme like that too. Nigga walk in with whole different energies.
Oh God.
Yeah, it made me think about, like, you know somebody really in that state when you can't when they get mad at jokes. When they get mad at jokes. And I think just being truthful will always clear some shit out for you. You know, I think it'll always make life easier. Yeah, I mean, I think if you be brutally honest throughout your life, you really gonna be happy. You know, you gonna be happy. It's no way not to be happy. You know, you just gotta stop being obsessed.
You just won't have a lot of friends.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. You gotta stop being obsessed with making people happy.
Stop being obsessed with stop being obsessed with connecting with people unnecessarily. You hear people.
The truth will set you free.
Yeah, you hear people talk about connection all the time, and it's like you haven't necessarily connected to yourself. And all of these connections with all of these different people, you end up moving and operating and maneuvering like these other people as opposed to yourself. And what I wanted to say earlier to what Hood was saying a minute ago, when you relinquish the opportunity to tell your partner or your loved ones the truth, that increases the shadow that we're talking about. You know, every time you don't tell the truth and you lie or you acquiesce, you increase the shadow. And when the shadow pops, right? Because the shadow does pop, it does get to a point, everybody gets to that one point where they've had enough, right? That's when the psychopath comes out.
Michigan coach, Michigan University coach.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Crash out time. You know what I'm saying? So I think,
He went Incredible Hulk.
yeah.
So let's re-examine it from a shadow work lens.
Mm-hmm.
He has different masks
Mm-hmm.
in different areas. When he a football coach, he got to be a football coach. When he is with his wife, he got to be a husband.
Mm-hmm.
And when he with his
Mistress,
Ronnie, right? His little white woman, he is a whole different entity.
whole different.
All three of these masks cannot be worn at the same time.
1,000.
And it's still the same person that's wearing these masks have to exist in this day and age. Now, when the rubber hits the road, the mask is inexistent. The real version of him is the character that made him to be all of these particular people. And who knows what he was going to do about it. Maybe he couldn't have a relationship with the young girl. Guess what, bro? You can't have a relationship with the young bro. It's in your contract, so you gonna have to eat that. This is what I'm talking about when we talk about protocols in reference to spirituality. If it's protocols, you don't go past the protocols and then say, all right, me and you, we got a successful endeavor. This nigga going above and beyond the boundaries and nobody know about it, but somehow it's just not manifesting right. That's like a leak in a motherfucking pool. You don't know where it's coming from, but you know you fucking sinking. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta be so fucking honest. And if I'm at a job and a nigga is stealing money, sooner or later, the rubber hits the road. Like, it always happens, but I don't know. It's like, I don't think you can, I don't have no real examples of actually dealing with a motherfucker and having a whole complete transparent honesty way of dealing with it. But that is the goal of shadow work. So you could exist in this way personally and in your relationships and in your business. I guess to the outside world, motherfuckers will dead ass say you done joined the cult or something. Cause y'all niggas can't even lie to one another. What type of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas in the group telling the truth and being accountable and shit. Like you're a part of the secret society now. Like that's how I feel about this shit now.
That's crazy. So like people who in sobriety groups and people who went through veteran wars, like, so that's what you're gonna say about them when they being honest and trying to grow and be better. You know what I'm saying? Like people, that's fucked up. People just try to destroy anything, honestly.
I mean, it's such things in war, such as treason. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas go to jail for treason. You know what I'm saying? Like people lie in every area of life. To whereas when you think about something being successful, it literally relies on integrity. And that in reference to like if you demand integrity, then you look like you're a part of a cult. You look like you're a part of some weird shit. Because think about some shit I tell you, like, all right, bro, it's 78 rules to join this group. And you can't break none of them. You probably be like, nah, bro, I ain't fucking with that. That shit too strict. Like, why is all these rules? Because we want to make sure that you ain't lying. Because we want to make sure that this shit is successful. Some will get it, and other people will be like, nah, bro, I can't fuck with that shit.
Will try it and still try and lie, and then when they get caught, they'll blame you.
Man, I don't know how people do it. I feel like in my life, the it's only like Jabri. That's Jabri with like everyone I know. But then I do wear a mask at work because I don't know who is who. You get what I'm saying? But like I got homies at work. We be in there, we be in there talking like the initiates talk. You get what I'm saying? And we don't give a fuck. But it is funny. It's almost like I was saying I was watching 007, uh, James Bond, and you feel like a spy in life, or at least that's how I felt as a kid. Uh, but I always felt that's like I knew I was putting on a mask in certain cases as a kid. You get what I'm trying to say? Like because you knew that acting a certain way will make people treat you a certain way. At least as a kid. At least as a kid.
Yeah, that's
And
why that's what I'm talking about. Program through interaction
yeah,
be this way, right? Now, shadow work is to understand the wiring, not really shame yourself one way or other. It's just like I don't want, in no sense of being wired or programmed to the external. When you have a whole internal programming that is just like you, like anybody doesn't know their potential. We assume that our potential is already reached and maximized because of our past accomplishments, but a little bit of logic shows that you can literally expand and grow from now into the future, just related to your particular mindset at any age, at any education level, any financial level. You could like just lock all the way back in. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Recreate a whole different life for yourself based upon the fact of your authentic version is like Vision, from Marvel. Like even though it's an android, it can still show up at work. It's not. It can still have a baddie, the coldest bitch in the game. You know what I'm saying? She still can fall in love with him, right? But you just all of your chakras is activated, your third eye is open, and everybody just gonna have to accept you. You know what I'm saying? Because of the work. You know what I'm saying? Because of the vision and the magnitude of what you bring it forth to the world. Can't really say shit, but you can't. I feel like Vision was the only nigga in Marvel that nobody ever said shit to. Like, bro, you got it, you Vision. Like,
You
yeah.
remember when he picked up Thor's hammer? He like, all right, y'all, let's talk about. All right, they were just like, okay, let's go. Yeah.
yeah, like, all right, you got it, bro.
Everybody's like, dang, he just picked up his hammer. Oh shit.
Yeah, the truth will set you free, man. Truth will set you free. Because it's I think one thing that's needed with shadow work is like self acceptance and self forgiveness. So you can really just have a prompt of just like forgiveness. Cause I know you still think of all the shit that happened in your life and it make you feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Don't you want to not be triggered to just by thinking about a traumatic thing that happened to you? You have to accept it. Where else would that suppressed thing go but deep into the subconscious? So now you know what I mean? You kind of like you're programming. You get what I'm saying? You're actually programming when you suppress things. Um, and it's all about deprogramming. It's all about peeling the onion and becoming less of a thing as an aggregate of thoughts. Like a bunch of thoughts in your head is just it's just a whirlwind. It don't amount to nothing. um, you have to reprogram by dealing with spirit.
I mean, if
And
you think
the
about it,
solution is, I was just gonna say, the solution is meditation and shadow work. This is the fundamental law of spirituality. Nothing you do is gonna work unless you have shadow work in it too. Shadow work is like blood. You know what I mean? Like you can do anything with your body, but you need blood. You know, or it's like water. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm working on my chakras. You should be doing shadow work too. I'm studying astrology. You should be doing shadow work too. You know, I'm working with herbs. You should be doing shadow work too. I'm doing breath work. You should be doing shadow work too. Shadow work should go with everything. Shadow work is like a plate. You get what I'm saying? That you put your food on. You need to get that every time.
I look at it like this. If you want to talk about acceptance, I mean, you've already accepted the dysfunction in your life.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, why not accept the fact that you actually are the only one that could rectify that? How about accepting that?
Isn't it the it's the Queen of Swords. She's holding a mask. You know what I'm saying? And that
Hmm.
mask could, it relates to the persona. When I saw this image, that's what flashed in my head just now, but just the Queen of Swords.
It's
But
it's funny you brought up the sword suit because 10 of swords, really 8, 9, and 10 of swords
Gemini.
makes me think of like shadow, you
Right.
know, and what you gotta deal with like working with the shadow.
Because you see how like she's like basically she has no shirt on, she's pure, she's showing everything. She's being open.
Welcome.
Yeah, and it looks like she's content, like she's relaxed, like she chilling out.
Look like she not beat. It's like it's whatever, nigga.
Yeah, like nah, chilling. Hmm.
General meaning: the intellectual, the eloquent individual, the technocrat, the position changer, independence, aimlessness, lightness, slyness, cynicism, encourages playing with thoughts and curious questioning, warns against mental flights of fancy with the danger of falling. This is from Keywords of Crowley Tarot by Banzoff and Dealer. I had this book for mad long. Those stood the test of time though. But Queen of Swords is a very interesting card. All of the queens is very interesting.
What's the next video, big bro?
Let's get to it. Let me know if y'all can hear it or not. Hear it?
Don't see it, don't hear it. Don't hear it.
I'm tired of fighting niggas. I'm tired of taking up for the women. I'm tired of because honestly, we have such strong voices, and sometimes we say stuff even in like just like joking around and playing, but people will take that shit serious. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? Sometimes we have to watch what we say, especially when it comes to, you know, our relationships in our community.
I'm glad you said that.
For real.
Because that divisiveness was that was taught behavior from. I don't want to get into it.
We can.
That's not us. We've always thrived together as a people.
Yeah.
Just by design, I believe that men and women, black men and black women, need each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I believe that. So the gender war shit is exhausting. I hate it. We fought about it all already. Either you're going 50-50 or you're not.
Who cares?
You found somebody to pay the bills or you're not. Hey, is mom sitting in the front seat or the back seat? We got it, big dog. We got it. We got it. We did it already.
But you know what's crazy?
But I feel like it really popped off during the pandemic because we was at home and we didn't have shit to do and we was all mad.
But not only that,
being mad at each other.
That's true. But people are still doing it in 2025 because they see Joe signing a $20 million deal and they like, I want that.
But I don't feel like I see a lot of people doing that these days.
I agree with Lex. It's phases,
yeah.
Right? Because Dre is saying the pandemic. For me, it all got unpacked on Black Twitter. Black Twitter was the start of it and the end of it. And anything else that happened after that was an adaptation of what was going on because advertisers saw what was going on. Movie producers, showrunners saw what was going on. Fucking everybody saw what was going on Black Twitter.
Yeah.
So yes, during the pandemic, we saw another wave of that, but not from the OGs.
Yeah.
Whatever you're seeing now is just they saw it and
they're regurgitating
they're monetizing now.
Yeah.
Like you said. So yeah, they're just trying to make a buck. They seen Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
They seen Dr. Bryant. Whoever you saw. We dealing with the generation that was programmed.
Yeah. And I definitely feel like it was a surge of that during the pandemic. And people started noticing, okay, because a lot of podcasts popped off during the pandemic, including us. Like I feel like that's when
talk about it
kind of started to get really popular. And we used to kind of talk about a lot of those topics as far as like man versus woman relationship topics, things that we knew were gonna get a lot of traction and attention online. And I think a lot of other people started picking up on that, and it became, okay, all of a sudden men hate women, women hate men. It was just, I don't know, it was a weird time.
You're right.
That we were living in, and I feel like it's because people noticed, okay, this
and you know what this is like.
People were making coins from whatever identity.
This is like the Vibe magazine shit, the East Coast versus West Coast shit. So basically, podcasters, black podcasters that are getting contracts from big corporations are talking about how all the gender war shit was a psyop. And it's somebody today in a fucked up position because it's something that they did to somebody. Or probably in jail or probably got a lot of debt or something crazy. Media done got you again.
You know, that whole video was super disingenuous, but it was also revealing because I kind of got the feeling like they were alluding to the fact that they played into the gender dynamics based off of proximity and just the availability because everybody was inside. And, you know, y'all made a lot of money off of that and then turned around and then said, yeah, we tired of talking about it. But it's like y'all started it. And when Joe started talking about shit like we was always good together, like some kumbaya shit, I'm trying to figure out which time frame he's referring to because I'm older than him. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the inner work is not being done and the outer work of the exhausting nature of men having a voice is basically what I think they are alluding to. Because anytime a man say things, is viewed a certain type of way. Because generally, men are basically put on the earth to provide and shut the fuck up. You know, or look good or fuck good. Men are really recognized through their ability to perform. And so just having, like I said, I just came to the realization, like, you know, people will say things about astrology or spirituality and they'll put it in a box. Like, in reality, there are no boxes in reference to the mind. So when we trying to like have a particular conversation, it's not that I hate anybody. The truth is just usually bitter and it's hard to digest. But when we talk about shadow work, if you hear some shit that make you hate the person that is saying it, it has everything to do with you, not with the person that's saying it. So I have to come to this realization in my work and everything that I do. People don't necessarily, it's not that they don't like the truth or like the truth or whatever the case may be. They just don't like that feeling within themselves. And it's not my problem. It's not nobody's problem, but that person's problem. So we can introduce the concept of shadow work, which one of the main tenets of shadow work is triggers. What triggers you? All this gender war talk is exhausting. Why? If niggas want to have quality relationships and we want to get game on relationships and better our relationships, you don't want us to talk about relationships. That's stupid. It's always interesting because you're always in a relationship. And the dynamics of a relationship is not a straight line. It is a motherfucking wave. It is peaks and valleys. And you are a fucking idiot to imagine that your relationship is just going to ascend to the high heavens because you motherfucking look halfway decent. We need to talk about these things. And you need to be exhausted because at 80, you're going to need some fucking relationship advice with your old ass girl. Should we get the Depends or the new Maxi Pads that came out with the AI chip? You're gonna need to know. Don't be exhausted by get in the game. Get you somebody, love you.
Maxi Pad 10,000.
The Maxi Pad 10,000. Stop acting like it's normal not to be in a relationship and not to talk about relationships.
I'm sure I was gonna say because that's what a lot of people are trying to be in or want to be in.
I mean, everybody was born from two people having sex. So it's innate within us to want to have that same thing for which we were created from. That's a non-negotiable. Unless you was a test tube baby born in the laboratory. I'm sure that percentage is so small it can't even be calculated. So that means the majority of us are a result of two people fucking.
Hey, I was gonna say with that with those stats earlier, yeah, no, they gotta be.
They for real fucking, dog. They for real fucking. Trust me.
And they got motion, so you know they fucking.
But at the end of the day, man, the alchemy is what got to be transmuted. Because pain is all over the world.
Yeah, when you live in a society that chooses to only point out the positive parts about society on one hand, and then on the other hand, they choose to scapegoat one subset of society. Like, the reality is that people like being lied to. And so much so that when someone says something that you haven't already said to yourself, but you know it's there, you know it exists, you know what the fuck you're doing. That's the only thing that's gonna make you hate that person, is because they telling you some shit that you know yourself, but you ain't did shit about it. So now we're back at shadow work, which is every day going to be shadow work. We're going to talk about shadow work every episode, like regardless, because shadow work is in everything that we do. Everywhere you go, there is a shadow following. We're going to acknowledge it. We're not going to sit here and say, I'm tired of these conversations because we ain't getting nowhere. No, like these people are up, and that's what your celebrities do. That's what your pundits and your talking heads do. When they get to a point of feeling good or feeling whatever about themselves, they on to the next. You know, these people are not starting any movements that is getting people in the right place at the right time. These people aren't doing anything but counting and stacking their bank accounts. And when it comes to a level of touching the people, being transparent with the people, and doing something philanthropic for the people, maybe these people have no bones in that. Like they don't necessarily care whether you good or not. If you're gonna pay for something, they good on that, but that's about it. I feel like we should have had some dun 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 music when you pulled that up.
Man,
I don't know
that's
how
crazy.
I don't even know how we got on this subject, honestly, bro. I don't know what was the genesis of it, but
we was in
channel,
pregame.
channel,
We was in
man.
pregame, and we was talking about sexual partners, and we were talking about casual sex. That's how we got here.
all right. And so it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's a world thing, it's a Western thing. So all Western countries employ women, and usually sometimes a percentage of women get large sums of money that will allow them to travel. Now, if you ever travel specifically by yourself, the first and only thing you're thinking about is having sex, right? Unless you go in there for business. And even then, your free time, you trying to see what the sex market is like. Now, in Jamaica, I just was thinking this, right? I was just using common sense, and I was speaking theoretical, right? Like, that must mean that a lot of women get a lot of STIs and HIV from having sex with those Jamaican guys. And the reason that I said it was because, not because women are bad, but because at least women from at least 60 countries are going to Jamaica to have sex with the same 1,500 men. That's eating the maca root and that's doing the herbal diet to make sure, you know what I'm saying, they making sure.
They got all the honey packs you want.
Like they making sure, right? And I done talked to enough women throughout my life that have traveled to Jamaica. The men is having sex with them, but the women is falling in love. Even more so, it was a popular movie and soundtrack called How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Every woman loves that movie.
Damn, that's what that. I never watched that shit.
Now,
but you just explained it.
I'm telling you. But the romantic part of it is that you finding a beautiful, handsome, Caribbean, exotic man with a long penis. But the shadow work of it is that you are putting yourself at risk for HIV and STI. I came to this conclusion with my common sense. I Googled it, came up with a full abstract study, right?
Yeah, this is not shits and giggles. Like, we're not pulling chains over here.
Lawrence C. Johnson, men at risk, sex work, tourism, and STI HIV risk in Jamaica. Now, reading this, you think that it's talking about niggas, right? Because what's the common thing? Men go places and they have sex with prostitutes. But I'm telling you, if professional women that's traveling to these foreign countries, best believe that masculine energy got them looking for sex. But the reality of it is that nobody is going to say, oh, I got a motherfucking STD fucking with this goddamn Ghanaian. And so it's happening over and over again, and nobody is really talking about it. But this is a motherfucking well-researched study about the subject because it is a problem. But in reference to shadow work, where you talk about things that are hidden, shadow work is the revelation of the things that are hidden. And in this world, let me just break it to you. It's a lot of shit that's going on that you have no fucking idea. Female sex tourism has become an accepted income generator for many underemployed men in Jamaica who seek to reap economic benefits from relationships with visiting tourist women. This issue provides context to explore the numerous ways in which health intersects with the issues of masculinity, sexuality, and marginality. Because understand, niggas have gotten nothing out of nothing, and they gonna make it do what it do. And if they gonna give you a STD, best believe they gonna give you a STD and not think none of it. You gonna fall in love with this nigga, and this nigga is deprived. Because what I learned about sex work, the reason why I never partake in it or never deal with it, because it represents the bottom of the barrel. It's the lowest form of making money. But I yield with that. But I just feel like it's something that needs to be talked about in a sense of shadow work.
It's kind of hard to follow that up. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of easy for somebody to go to straight doom and gloom after hearing that. But fortunately for you guys, we don't give a fuck about doom and gloom. At the end of the day,
I didn't write this damn article.
Yeah,
I did not write this fucking article.
Yeah,
you can't be mad at me for reading the article.
We didn't seek this shit out. Like, this shit was already
mad
there.
at me for reading the article.
All we doing is elucidating for y'all. Like, yeah, like niggas ain't get up this morning like, yeah, I want to look into tourism in Jamaica. Like nobody did that. But I was telling my brother earlier when we was discussing this that you in a relationship with me and you talk about a girl's trip, you are single.
Yeah, if you go, listen, I'm sorry. I love you to death. You go to Jamaica, it's over. I ain't about to do the Jamaica trips. Or the South Florida trips. Jamaica, South Florida. I don't even know, man. It's desperate niggas everywhere at this point. And it's a lot of niggas that all they got is they sex appeal. Right? And they about to use that shit. They gonna use every charm in the book. Your wife of 50 years gonna fall in love with goddamn Rico from Dominican Republic because he hit her with all of the charm. My husband never told me I was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's over. Like
the Jamaican Fabio is right up the block.
But I think it goes more into highlighting boss girl energy, unchecked, unsupervised, left to roam free. And then when it doubles back in Houston, right, when you have an increase, like these are stats that I didn't make up the stats, right? From 2013 to 2022, women have got syphilis 500% faster than they did in the past. Men 131% faster. So it's a level, and I feel like a lot of these stats and details is just from the undercover casual sex lifestyle that's just kind of like existing in this world. It's decaying the moral fabric of our society. These statistics show you that. In
And
2022,
did. I think it already has to a certain point.
what was we just watching in like in this live where I just can't remember a nigga was like throwing on the cape. You know what I'm saying? Like, why we gotta throw on the cape? And you know what I'm saying? Statistics show she fucking every Friday. And then, you know what I'm saying? Now I gotta lay out the red carpet for you. I
Yeah,
need
every girl's weekend, she fucking.
Yeah, I'm exhausted by the relationship conversations. I bet you would. I bet you would be exhausted from niggas saying these particular statistics. I bet you would be pissed the fuck off because if it was niggas getting syphilis at a 500% growth rate, it would be fucking pandemonium in the streets.
1,000%. 1,000%. When you say it's on the woman's side, you know, they're end around and booby trap thinking where they just gonna end up putting it back on the guy. Like, no, you can't do that.
Shoot the messenger.
Like, you slept with these dudes. Like, at the end of the day, you slept with them. Men control marriage, women control sex. Nobody forced you to have that many sexual partners. If they did, you got to have another conversation about that other stuff. But you should have reported that to the police by this point.
Serpent, bro, serpent. Me scoring 30 and getting scored 30 on is two different things, bro.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. A universal key and multiple locks is a totally different thing. Totally different.
I mean, statistics show in reference to sexual transmitted diseases that you guys are accurate. But I mean, the more times you have sex with men put you at more of a risk to catch a sexual transmitted disease, and even worse, HIV or AIDS. So, with that being said, casuals. When I was going to school, we had the AIDS and the HIV thing, and they would always say like, if you don't want to get it, then don't have sex. That's kind of how you got to really approach it, and that goes into like trying to build spiritual communities. Man, I got trauma from, you know what I'm saying, like niggas wanting to fuck, you know what I'm saying, the girlies be trying to get some spiritual healing. You know what I'm saying? The niggas trying to get some spiritual healing, and the girls like, oh, you healing? Let me put this pussy on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like
the last thing a woman want to hear is that you healing. That's the last thing she want to hear.
I ain't lying, man.
Man. Man, y'all be cool in this world, man. Y'all listening to this. Everybody that's listening to this evening, y'all better be smooth out here, man. Cause it's too risky doing that shit. You think you cool and shit. You got all them pictures and videos in your phone. Showing the videos like you Cameron on Paid in Full and shit. Like, man.
Oh, like you Alpo on the roof?
Yeah, man. You gotta be smooth out here, man. See, be monogamous.
They said that was Diddy's specialty. After he bagged your chick behind your back, he gonna show her having sex with you in front of everybody at the party.
Man, that shit too risky.
You gotta definitely be
That's playing
monogamous.
Russian roulette, bruh.
You gotta be monogamous, and your girl gotta be monogamous.
Yes,
Your
yes.
dude gotta. Y'all both gotta be monogamous because
Yeah.
you can't get rid of HIV. And the thing about it, yeah, you don't want to be out here. This is more people getting diseases because it's like it just happens to more and more people. Like, so it's like, I know, like, for a lot of people, they really in it. They don't really even realize it. They lonely, depressed, not doing shadow work, and they find value of having sex with people until you sitting up at a clinic with some green shit coming out of you. But nobody is saying this because they want to glamorize having sex, and it's cool. We don't want to have relationship conversations. I want to see you at the clinic. And don't talk about that shit. Just talk about how a nigga can spend money on you all day.
Yeah, do that at the
They're not
clinic.
exhausted
Do
by
that at
the
the clinic.
conversations.
Yeah, do that at the clinic about how that nigga got you a Birkin. Please do that at the clinic.
They're not exhausted by sprinkle.
Oh yeah, they love old girl. Oh, they love her.
Sprinkle.
She rebranded and everything, man. She coming back with season 2.
Yeah,
Sprinkle.
She. Lord have mercy.
Wow, man. I'm speechless on this one though, for real, for real. This is so absurd. You know what I mean? Like,
But this is when
wow.
this is how it looks when shit goes unchecked. Like this is how it looks when the accountability is non-existent across the board. This is how it looks when you absolve a woman of her actions. Right? Because if she catch something, even if she knows she got it, what's the odds she gonna tell you? What's the odds she gonna tell you? If she got motion and she really enjoys casual sex and she really enjoys the fact that she got a roster and she really enjoys the fact that she could get anything that she wants, she asks for, what's going to stop her from doing all of that and tell you, yo, I got some shit? What's going to make her do that? Don't worry, I'll wait.
I think this is the way they do population control because you got to have a certain level of intelligence to even not even exist on this level. And people that exist on the lower level, they can't help themselves no way. They don't even care. When I see those types of numbers, I see motherfuckers that's not even caring. They go into the clinic, they getting the shots, they taking the medicine because
They going right back out there.
And they going right back out there. So I feel like motherfuckers have reached a point where they don't even care. So if they don't care, that's more of an impetus for those that do care to start taking your spiritual life seriously. Because how else you gonna find somebody? Because when I was, and it didn't work, but when I was younger, you could fuck around.
1,000%.
You could, but now you can't even do that.
What the old heads always said, oh, take your time. You got time.
Right. It ain't like that no more.
Old heads always said that. Don't try and settle down too early, young blood. Take your time. Spread your seed around. That's what's taught. That's what's taught. Spread yourself around. Don't do it too soon. That's what's taught, bro.
I ain't seen niggas with their chest open like a motherfucker.
So when you say things like feminism, right, and then you say the sexual revolution was a thing that women just had to have, right? Right, they just had to have that, right? Complete autonomy over their bodies, right? This is the reverberations of that. This is the residual effects of that. Period. Ain't no way to slice that. And you can't, I feel some type of way about this away. You can't, oh man, I just don't want to deal with that away. You can't do that. And for every single one of you motherfuckers that decide to say witchcraft is demonic, tarot is demonic, chakras is demonic, horoscopes is demonic, and you motherfuckers don't call casual sex demonic, I'm looking at all y'all weird now. Every single one of y'all, I'm looking at y'all weird. Real fucking weird. You worried about tarot cards?
Yeah. And like how I said on the last live, like you can really say that to someone, like casual sex is immoral, and they'll want to not. You can tell that they don't want to agree,
They're not gonna fuck with you
but
no
they
more. You
but
say
they
that.
see
They're
how
not gonna fuck with you.
stupid they look though immediately. You get what I'm saying? Like,
They're not gonna fuck with you no more. You say that to them. I guarantee you. You'll
man,
never
that's what
see
you.
them.
But that's what you say when you want to have real people around you. Just start saying that to people, and you will know who you can depend on in life. Because if you think you can depend on somebody as fucking 3 other people, 2 other people, ain't even got to be a big ass roster. They're going to be unreliable, and they're going to be a detriment to their own self.
And shout out
They,
to the dusty niggas who trying to get casual sex and can't even get casual sex. Up to
That part. What about the people who can't even get it?
It don't matter about your roster. It's definitely about your attention and your mindset.
right, for sure.
I would say for all the young men who don't got no motion and don't have no rosters, don't worry about it. You've been saved.
You've been saved for sure.
That sounds spiritual.
For sure. I wish I had a roster in college when I was younger, but I didn't. And looking back, I'm glad. I mean, but I feel like everybody can almost look back and like, whoa, that was a crazy time in life, where I was really getting away with doing all these different things, you know. But I couldn't imagine like being in my 30s and just trying to just fuck different people all the time. Like I don't know like I wouldn't be able to meditate. Like I feel that like that shit would make me retarded. I feel like that will fuck your mind up, man. You can't be dominated by lust to the point where you got syphilis.
Go ahead and like
you can still have casual sex without this being a thing. But it's a shadow thing. So you ain't gonna be honest about it anyways.
Right.
You know, like the 7 gates of
So
hell.
you gonna take what you get. You get what I'm saying? I think if you do shadow work, you could actually stand for something. You know? Because I think on one end, it's not that it's bad to want to have casual sex, but you wouldn't be honest about it. Well, not even yourself. You just doing it for some type of rush or whatever the fuck you doing it for. You know, because I don't know what that's about. But man, the first lesson in life is shadow work. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Once you realize that is something that's available to you, you have to do it.
You have to.
You have to do it, bro.
Non-negotiable.
You know
It's a requirement. It's a prerequisite.
Not doing shadow work is somebody else telling you about your fucking self. Because people don't recognize, I'm not sure if they do, but the person that you are when you're in the performance is not necessarily the person that you think you're being. Right? Like when you put on said mask and you go wherever it is that you go, You may think that you put on a mask and people are receiving you the way that you want them to be received. It doesn't always, it almost never shows up that way. You know why? Because you can't look at yourself. You can't. So it will behoove you to do shadow work so you could actually see what other people see when they look at you, when they receive you. That's how important this shit is.
You can't see yourself if you wearing a mask.
Yeah, you can't see yourself. And if you've never cultivated understanding and knowing self, you will never see yourself.
So, like, I would just add on, if you with different partners, it brings about a different shadow, and each partner creates a different shadow. And by having all of these different shadows, the next part is psychosis, because what is the authentic version of you? You know, you with the Rasta man, and now you're a Rasta girl. You with the thug girl, now you a thug boy. You know, you with the smart person, now you wearing polo quarter zips and things of that nature. Like, you so many different people to so many different people that it leads to psychosis. So, and the beauty of shadow work is that whenever you choose authenticity, it presents itself as being available, because it's not like the mask is a part of you, right? How you show up in these weird situations is not you, right? But if you live today and into the future, you don't live today and into the past. That's the beauty of it. You just have to make the assertion in the declaration that everybody gets your authenticity from here on out. Win, lose, or draw. Because you're going to lose some, but you're going to win some. Sometimes it's just going to come out the way it's supposed to come out. But you sleep at night knowing you is who you were, right? Think about insomnia or depression or all of these psychotic episodes. It's related to you not expressing your authentic self in a way that, you know, you could have just said no, but you wanted to impress these girls and go to the party, right? And now, you know what I'm saying, you're getting drunk. Now some weird shit is happening. But now you mad at what happened and they wrong. But what about you following the crowd in the first place when you know you shouldn't even have done it? Until you come to these accountability turnstiles and take it, I feel like this thing is going to be more harder than it needs to be. I think we got a couple more videos, maybe one more.
If she's taking the doggy down the first date, you can assume that.
But some people are poor out here, Joe. Everybody ain't doing it like that. You know what I mean? She just might have a nice little job.
If you poor, take the food. Text Sally Struthers. Tell her you send her some too for the kids out there.
Oh my God. Don't text me no more. Holy shit.
God, that dog.
Is that a deal breaker
fucked
that
me
she
up.
got leftovers? Like, you're not calling her back?
On a first date?
Yeah.
That will never, no. I might call her again. We won't go out to eat. We go to the billiards. we gonna go somewhere where they don't have bowling. Come on, take these chicken fingers and fries.
Y'all are crazy.
Yeah, y'all get it though. Salute.
I get it too, but I don't know.
First date.
Yeah.
Yeah, first date. You could be with your girl and your girl like, yo, I ain't wrap that up.
Now, if you with your girl,
that's something different.
Order
First
everything for the rest of the week. Meal prepping that bitch. Leave with the whole Brooklyn Chop House. Come on, y'all got the whole menu memorized. The way to know your name, to know your favorite shit. Hey, bag that. Put the fried rice. Put that crab fried rice in the bag. I'm putting that in the air fryer tomorrow. If it's leftover steak, you know it's steak and eggs in the morning. If you're with somebody you got a rapport with, you know how you do the leftover game. I'm only talking about first date. Have some decorum.
Bag
nasty bitch.
Bag that shit up.
on the fuck they talking about.
How clean you think a chick pussy is who take a doggy bag on the first date?
Joe, please.
Joe,
get the fuck out.
I'm having a real conversation.
Joe, please.
I'm having a real conversation with you.
Crazy, bro.
How clean do you think the chick pussy is that takes a doggy bag on the first date?
What?
Please make that correlation for me, cause I'm trying.
Joe, what?
I ain't there yet. I'm trying.
Ain't where?
So she not watching cat if she's a little hungry.
I don't
she
think
wants
so.
something for little
I don't
Brian
think so.
Jr.
Your fridge-
So she ain't got to cook him nothing when
Your
she
fri-
get him from the sitter.
Your fridge ain't prepped. That pussy ain't prepped. You know how I feel about preparation and planning. If you here looking hungry on a date, I can imagine how you look while I'm mounted on top of you. Sorry.
Salute, man.
That's crazy.
I don't look at it as a poor thing. I've said my piece.
You can't trust the bitch that's taking a doggy bag to have shaved it the right way, shaved her legs, shaved her underarm, do all the pretty cutesy. Amanda, you know what I'm saying? The pretty cutesy girl shit, hair done, manicure, the chick that's taking a doggy bag is not laser. That's the point that I'm trying to say. She's not laser.
I give up.
Yeah, that may be true.
Have
That may
fun,
be true.
buddy.
She might not be lazy.
Have
She might
fun.
not be lazy.
Yo, she could be laser.
She
man.
might
She's
not
not
be
lazy.
lazy.
Man, the chick that might. I don't think it's.
Bro.
Go ahead, bro. Let us have it.
I'm just mad that them grown man is talking like that, man. I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. Feel like, you in positions of influence and people going to do what they going to do, but we either dating or we talk about relationships, because dating is dick at the end.
Facts.
So dick at the end is dick at the end. So what is you obviously you going on first dates, many first dates. What do it matter how she behaved during the date? You know why you taking her on that date. Let's not even act like you're not going on a date to smash, because that's what date means. Dick at the end. When you really about to get married, you going to find somebody that's on his purpose and you going to align with that purpose. You don't got to go on no dates to get married. You don't need to go to a fucking restaurant and eat crab legs to get married. That's not a formula and a way to get married. If you're a woman and you looking for a husband, you going on dates, you probably ain't getting nothing but dick.
That's backwards. That's backwards. And that's what society has missed, right? I texted in the chat earlier, I said dating is for marriage. Husbands date their wives, wives date their husbands. Dating before you even decide to be together, be in a relationship, a committed relationship together, and thinking that those occurrences are going to lead to marriage is psychotic. It's psychotic, because what happens on most first dates? People show up as their representative, right? How long does it take for you two to get through the representative and meet the actual person that you're with? How long? So why would dating lead you to marriage? I'm confused. I'm confused. You only date somebody that you know, you like, you appreciate, and you want to spend time with. You don't date somebody that you don't know.
Let's just do the math. If I'm a man that got enough resources that I could take you out to dinner on a whim, that means I could take many women out on a whim. Am I going to take one girl out, or am I going to take multiples out?
Multiple.
Right.
Probably multiple.
So when we revert back to the syphilis and we revert back to, all these particular things, what we have is a large percentage of women wanting that experience and a small percentage of men being able to provide it. But they all exchanging spiritual transmitted diseases along the way.
Yeah, we're gonna trade these fluids anyway.
It's crazy.
Interesting times we living in. Well, the last video I wanted to bring this to the light in reference to shadow work is parenting, where you could think that you're a bad parent or a good parent, or your parents was good parents or bad parents, but who really knows the way? I want to play this video and get y'all thoughts on it afterwards.
There's no sound.
No sound, big bro.
All right.
For world. I have been meaning to make this video for so long, guys, and I mean exactly what I say in my caption. Religious parents raise daughters for worlds that no longer exist, and then they get mad when they can't navigate the one that actually does. Basically, what has always frustrated me the most about religious, conservative, traditional, patriarchal parenting is that they raise girls to be very obedient and sheltered and modest, and yet somehow expect them to magically grow into these very competent, responsible, independent, successful adults. Because in a lot of patriarchal cultures, the daughter is not raised primarily to be a functioning adult. She's supposed to be a symbol. So they raise her to be obedient and modest because she's a reflection of the family. Everything about the daughter is how the family is perceived. At the same time, they need her to be successful in the real world and survive in the real world because they need a retirement plan. That is actually very pessimistic of me to say, but you know what I mean. The point is that they want her to be controllable in the home, but also competent outside of it. They want her to get good grades, they want her to get a job, they want her to support her siblings, they want her to navigate society while also raising her in a way as if she still lives in a village. Her only purpose is to obey men. My point is that they raise girls to be like 18th century villagers, but also expect them to be able to be competent in a way that a 21st century woman is. My point is that they don't want daughters that actually follow the rules. They want daughters that make them look good by following the rules. That's why they're always preaching to obey, to stay modest, to stay home, to don't date. But they don't actually want you to be passive and helpless, even though those rules create nothing but passive, helpless women. They want you to get good grades, they want you to know how to navigate society, they want you to get a good job, they want you to speak well so the family looks intelligent and cultured. But they don't want your entire personality to be modest. They don't want you to actually be obedient. They want your reputation to be obedient. They want what people know about you to be obedient. All of their demands are contradictory. It's impossible. They want you to be modest and charismatic. They want you to be sheltered and worldly. They want you to be scared of men but also ready to be married. They want you to be docile but also capable and competent. And all they do and all these expectations do is create women and daughters that split inside of themselves. They raise you according to a belief system that existed in a different time period. I'm sure if we were living in old Somalia or prehistoric Arabia, we would all be super successful in their eyes. We'd all be in our little arranged marriages with 10 kids, but we don't live there, and that world doesn't exist anymore. The world is gone. We live in a globalized society that demands financial independence and emotional intelligence, and it asks us to have communication skills and be adapt. It wants us to be resilient. It wants us to advocate for ourselves. Yet all these cultures raise daughters that are still being trained for a world that doesn't exist, but they expect you to still excel in the one that does. They want daughters that obey them and protect their reputation and uphold their cultural expectations, but also succeed in Western institutions. They also want you to navigate adulthood. They also want you to support them when they're old.
You get the point.
Right.
But is this true in reference to women being raised for a world that no longer exists? Or is she?
I think she is a bit naive, and probably super preferential. This is what it looks like when I don't like what you're saying. I think we talked about this earlier too, when I said that it's one thing to live a life that someone else gave you and then complain about it at the end when you do very little appreciating as you go. And anybody can look back retroactively because retrospect is always 2020. However, that 2020 is not real, right? When we look back, some of us have trauma and things that we've been through. Wherever your arrested development began at, that's the place where your thoughts are going to go, not necessarily in a clear whole view of everything that occurred, because there are a multitude of things that happened that people had to do so you could be here. So I will agree with her on one thing though. The girls were raised for a world that doesn't necessarily exist, but so were the boys. So were the men. That's not a gender specific thing. Because have any of y'all been told while y'all was growing up that the world wouldn't appreciate you when you was an adult? Have any of y'all been told when you was growing up, by the time you get to an of age space, women will never know how to treat you? Did anybody tell you that growing up? That no matter how much you provide, that no matter how much money you make, somebody will still find a problem with you? Anybody tell you that growing up? So I think, like I said, retrospect is always 2020, but it's not real. We all could look back at shit that has occurred within our existence and say that was fucked up. But I don't think any of us could look back completely and say one thing or another is the reason why we didn't get or don't have what it is that we want to have. I just think that's her naivete coming through, and I'll land.
Yeah, you know, and that's like basically, you know, when you get raised by your parents and then you go back to tell them like you know, like I know you was trying, but the way you was doing it, that was wrong. You know, you was doing me and my sister like all that is not needed. Like that's the shadow where you learn, you express that, you understand that, but you don't go to people's face and just throw it back at them. You know, that's basically just being disrespectful and egotistic, honestly. But of course, you can realize certain things and alchemize and be better. You can be the one to start it and transform things instead of just sit back and go in people's face like, yeah, we could have had this. Well, go get it then, nigga.
So another thing about shadow work is the concept of individuation, mainly from your parents, because generally if you don't, you tend to just be just their automatons at a subconscious level. Like, because at a soul level, your mom was just an incubator for your physical vessel, but your soul is forever. So if your soul is forever, that means that your mom is not necessarily your mom. Your dad is not necessarily your dad. Your family is not necessarily your family. This is why shadow work is a process to come into your own, but also self-realize how powerful you actually are, which I was just telling my wife yesterday when I told my family before I started a business that I wanted to start a business. My uncle said, "You'll be lucky if you get a job at Burger King." So I mean, I could deal with that information on one level, but on a whole nother level, that nigga crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you probably listening to things your parents and family is saying right now and taking them as actual factuals. But in reality, it don't have nothing to do with your soul and your ability to heal yourself through deep meditation and shadow work.
I shaded that.
from time to time, what I found after talking over 10 plus years, you kind of had the mentality that you would lay something down, and once it was laid, it shall be forever laid. You know what I'm saying? But for all to interpret, for all to sponge the scientifics that were dropped. But what it turns out is that's not the case.
I repeatedly watch yours on YouTube, but that's just me.
Yeah,
not
but
me. So.
But what I found is a lot of new people come in, and after there's so many hours of information, they jump head in, but they haven't heard it all. So it has been laid, but they haven't gotten to that. They haven't gotten to that bedroom to get in the bed to lay down with it. Exactly. So you got to kind of keep doing the newer ones and repeating old shit, because then there's ignorance about this shit that emerges. Mm-hmm. One of the most ignorant things to deal with is this image right here, Baphomet. So I'm going to, for once and all, break it down under one fucking umbrella so we can stop forgetting. We tend to think it's like a religious thing, a thing of good and evil. And even if you can historically break down the white man, Euphrates Levy, that created it, then you give it up naturally because of your insecurity, because of your ignorance, and because of your ego to something that is white. We have to remember, first and foremost, all things that are white don't exist. There's nothing that they've created. All things are ours. So if they're dealing in the realm of any of this alchemy, any of this science, any of this sacred geometry, which this is, if they're dealing with it, it's from us. No matter how they present it, no matter how they regurgitate it, they're only trying to do what we are a reflection of. They're only trying to become us. Mm-hmm. That's facts. Yeah. There is no other science in existence but us. They can't do it their way. What they can do and what they have done is do it our way and then pretend it's their way and get us to argue about our way at this point. This is not something, a matter of, which I'm going to show today, as a matter of good and evil. It's a matter of those who know and those who don't know. So if you're still in the realm of that's white, that's evil, that's not for us, that's not this, all you just revealed is how much you really don't know. Because I'm going to show you all this bullshit that you think you want to be is enwrapped in this symbol, which is all it is, a symbol. If you are still under the impression of good and evil, then I'm going to show you have a problem. First thing we're going to do is start here. This is a book called Arts and Symbols of the Occult, Images of Power and Wisdom by James Wasserman. Art and Symbol of the Occult, Images and Power of Wisdom by James Wasserman. I'm sure this is old and it looks different now.
That's what we're trying to get to, is power and wisdom. So
exactly. So they're trying to show you in these things, in these images, how, quite simply, the power and wisdom hides in your ability to decode the image.
Only shit evil is the shit y'all make evil.
Another man God is another man's devil.
Do your shadow work and get with that Baphomet, man. Get with that Baphomet. Think we scared him long enough tonight? I'm laughing because it's not a joke, but I know it probably came across like real abrasive to some folks. But the truth is normally like that. You're going through this existence and you don't have any harsh truths to deal with, then you're not living.
Any closing words?
Join the Discord. Look out for any announcements. Tap in. Share your weekend with us. Share your day. Share us with us what you got going on. If you're reading, studying, hit us up. And of course, shout out to White Rabbit. Shout out to the brothers. And appreciate everybody as always rapping with us in the chat, commenting, sharing wisdom. Appreciate y'all. I shade y'all. See y'all again soon.
You could never be alone in this world, even if you try. You have a spiritual body, you have a mental body, you have a physical body, you have an emotional body, and you have spirit guides. You have ancestors, you have people that care about you. Honor those people the right way by doing something with what you have. To whom much is given, much is required. I say to the collective.
Yes, sir. Any closing words, Breeze?
Man, I feel like it ain't nothing else to say, man. We just this is it right here. You know what I'm saying? Shadow work. Like if you don't understand that, man, things will be hard for you and you will suffer and you will hate life. But
get into it, man. Get into the knowledge, study if you never heard of it. But at the end of the day, it's so many different things. So check out our next video where we'll probably be discussing shadow work in some form or fashion.
DM if you want to join the panel, spiritual panel. DM if you guys have any topics or videos you want us to react to. Join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord. Initiatesfortheflame.org, whiterabbitpsych.com, hoodmystic.com. Anything I forgot?
See y'all on the flip side, man. Peace.
Peace.
They want to be healed, you know, but healing indicates a wound. So we fucked up because we're in this space where conscious people want to turn this bitch into church like it's a healing facility where Pascal Beverly Randolph is like, let's talk about some magic. Let's talk about how to do some shit. Let's talk about how to speak telepathically. Let's figure out how to manifest particular spells and particular formulae, mainly between the black man and woman. Now, if you don't have a black woman or a woman at all to like fuck with your program, then how the fuck you gonna get one?
These are facts.
So certain fundamental aspects about spirituality can never be explored by black men and women because the system did a good job of trying, not like being, you know, we can't fuck it up a little bit for you niggas. We gotta fuck it up real bad for y'all.
All the way.
And I say another way to think about, right? Me and Breeze, we was talking about the Hierophant in chapter 1 in Genesis. You know, within Genesis, what they say is gonna happen between the man and woman once they sin against God, it's gonna be enemy. If I said that word right,
Yeah.
it's gonna be nothing but battle, scrapping.
Yeah.
Repeat that again. Repeat that last part you said again, AD.
Enmity.
I'm about to try to find a verse for you, AD.
Yeah, it should be like lit within the lines of chapter 3.
Yeah, at the end, before they got the garments of skin.
Yeah.
Enmity, a state of feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. On the internet, the normal conversation is literally called a gender war.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And it's like I know everybody following all the hood bills, the spiritual.
It's on site and all of that.
Yeah, just
Black
to see
men-
an argument.
yeah.
A man's supposed to
It's
be doing this,
Genesis-
a woman's supposed to be doing that. Getting all
It's
cluttered.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, and it says, "And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." Talking about the serpent and a woman. And we kind of deduced it down to like, this is the sense consciousness, you know what I mean? Or this is that elemental lockdown that you gotta continuously go to war with because of being enticed by it.
Because when you think about it, sense consciousness is really a divine thing, but we never really go out our way to think about the opposite of things that we deal with. So you got the pleasure and lust, you got the love and the hate, you know what I'm saying? But another way to put all that, how can you decide what is good and bad?
It's the Initiates We back. We are the #1 spiritual podcast on the internet. Align your chakras, gain some knowledge, make more dollars. You are now tuned into Scholars. Join the Discord. Be a part of the conversation. The Initiates Podcast and the Initiates Nation. Roll up your favorite pack and your best libation. Take some notes or go deep into meditation. The time we share is Soul Creations.
Enjoy the show.